0864. Stations your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
The following is a presentation of Learfield. Welcome to Duck Insider.
Our whole athletic department, there's a level of expectations of success.
Throw, catch, touchdown, Oregon.
He can run and slam.
This is back out for a three. Left wing is good.
In the air to center, back at the wall. It's out of here.
Really excited that we get to rep our Ducks and hopefully come back to Eugene with some championships.
Indoor track and field national champion.
Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champion.
And for the fourth time in the last 6 years, the Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
We have so many teams that are excelling right now, and it's really fun to be a part of.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
Thank you, and it's a Friday edition of Duck Insider, which you know what that means. Jerry Allen is here. Mike Jorgensen is going to be here, we think. But in all seriousness, Jorgie was supposed to be here for the first half of the show, and, well, Jerry, Jorgie is nowhere to be found. So do we just start our picks right away?
And he loses out, so he has her all zeroed.
Yeah. I think that's what we're going to have to do.
I'm down with that.
I think that's what we're going to have to do. We got Oregon and Fresno State coming up. 11 a.m. kickoff. We'll have it here for you on the Oregon Sports Network. I'm really looking forward to this, Jerry. Just getting back to Autzen Stadium. 9 a.m. pregame show with Terry Johns. Going to hear from offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead, including the Toyota Coaches Corner with Mario Cristobal. I just cannot wait for this. Oh, man. So he sneaks in right as I'm just finishing up the open, and then we were going to make picks. And do you think he meant to do this?
Yes.
Like this was an intentional?
Oh, yeah. I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it.
You have done it.
That's true. I have done it.
Our first pick, Jerry, since Mike Jorgensen is not here, I think that we have to make a pick for Northern Colorado. Hi, Jorgie.
Jeez, I thought you guys started at 105 or something like that. Talking to Nikki and Matt and everybody else outside.
I want you to know that Scott did turn the Zoom call on just in case.
Oh, did you?
Like if you were going to be running in late and you were like, oh, Zoom call. But here we are. All right, hey, well, every Friday, those of you who have not been with us in the past, we always do our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks, so we're going to do that. And also a little bit of the keys to the game. This is going to be a great opener. It's going to be great to have everybody back at Autzen Stadium. You know, Jorgie, I'll start with you. Oregon, Fresno State, first game of the year. We saw some Pac-12 action. We saw Oregon's next opponent in action last night. Keys to a victory for the Ducks. What's it going to come down to?
You know what I'm going to say, right?
I
mean, why would you ask me that question? Why don't you just record that, Scott? And then when he asks that question, I can just go, yeah, stop the run, run the ball.
So assuming Oregon runs the ball well, what's the second key to victory?
Well, I'll tell you,
Run the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, run the ball, don't turn it over. Obviously, we talked about penalties and that type of deal, but I just think controlling the line of scrimmage in early in the season is really what you need as a team just from that standpoint. And that means stopping the run with an excellent running back for Fresno State, who's not only a good running back but a good receiver out of the backfield too, but just really establishing the tempo and the physicality of the game to begin with. And the other thing I want to see, frankly, that probably isn't that big of a deal to anybody, but I want to see Anthony Brown start a game and play a majority of, and not play a majority of because it's close. I'm hoping the Ducks take care of business and really do a good job, but play a majority of the game because that's really important. Playing spots like he did last year towards the end of the season and not really having played a complete game in almost 2 years, it's a big deal as a quarterback, managing all the situations that happen in a game.
I agree. What do you think, Jerry? I mean, what are you looking for? What's it going to take for Oregon to get a win and win the way that you hope they will?
Well, an area I'm going to watch for, guys, is Alex Forsyth in that center and the offensive line. I think if Alex does what we expect him to do, which is a tremendous leader, and I think he's one of those guys that will rally that front line And then that makes everything else work. So if he's doing his job or well, I think we're okay.
All right. Alex
My
Forsythe.
hometown hero this week, by the way.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's on
Absolutely.
the pregame show. Jerry and Georgie will do the open. I'll be roaming around doing something. We'll find out when I get there. And then we've got Terry Johns anchoring pregame coverage, 9 a.m. all the way up to that 11:01 scheduled kickoff. Those of you who are going to be in attendance, GoDucks.com. Can't encourage you enough. Get familiar with mobile ticketing, the vaccination requirements or negative tests. Go to GoDucks.com. Read up on all that info. And then we're going to watch a little bit of football. It's going to be great to have everybody
Some
back.
good games last night.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah,
watching
what'd you
that.
think of, look, we're not looking ahead, all right? But I watched the Ohio State-Minnesota
Sure.
game. Did you guys?
Yes.
Well,
bits and pieces. I'm going to watch the rest of
Georgie watched some 5-year-olds play soccer.
it, which is always fun. But, again, teams improve from game 1 to game 2. There's a tremendous amount of improvement, and coaches will say that. Ohio State is going to find what they did, particularly on defense, not very well, and offense in the first half. And that's what Oregon's going to learn this week with Fresno State. So both teams will have a game under their belt, but that first game to second game advance is really huge, and I think that's what Ohio State's. Plus, they go back home.
Right.
That's going to be a whole different deal.
Does it matter that they have a few extra days to recover, or is it just, doesn't really make that big of a difference?
It helps. It helps because, if they're anything like Oregon, I mean, they go full steam off and on, but don't really hit the quarterbacks. Now you got, C.J. Stroud got hit a few times, and you're going to have to get off that soreness and that type of deal. But, it didn't look like they came away with a ton of major injuries. But, again, a day or two to be able to prepare and then to watch, obviously, Oregon versus Fresno State. It helps out Ohio State, no doubt.
Now,
And again,
Fresno State
playing at home, too.
Right, and Fresno State's already played a game. They drubbed UConn 45-0, didn't really have to show a whole heck of a lot, and so Oregon now playing against a team like that, I think that this is a great matchup. I think it's a great first game for Oregon because Fresno State's got talent. As we've been talking about throughout the course of this week, Fresno State does have some talent. So that's the game day timeline for you. The 9 a.m. pregame show. Parking lots open at 7 a.m., gates open at 9 a.m., and then an 11 o'clock kickoff for the Ducks. It's going to be on Pac-12 Network. Encourage you to sync up the broadcast so you can hear these two guys in the booth yet again. Going to be fun, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to be back at Autzen. All right, we've got some Sylvan Ridge picks to make. Our friends at Sylvan Ridge Winery are always bringing you our weekly picks. So to recap what we've had so far, we've backed the pack, and all of us picked UCLA, Utah, and Arizona State. A little bit of a slow start for Utah, partially because of Mother Nature last night, guys, but it was good to see them get going. Utah and ASU both with nice victories, really nice victories, I thought, for both of those sides last night. But the coin, and no one is happier about this than one Mike Jorgensen, the coin went 0-2 last night, Georgie. You are officially beating the coin.
That's my goal. That's always my goal. I mean, my goal is to beat you guys too, but just, hey, if I finish third ahead of the coin, I'm okay with that.
I understand. I mean, I think, that's all that it takes.
Right?
That's all that it takes.
I can't believe he is looking over his shoulder at the coin. Where's the coin?
Here's
Where's the coin?
Hey, there's been a couple of years where it's right on my tail.
Coin's ready. Coin's ready. All right, so let's get into this then. So, guys, we do have a game tonight, Northern Colorado and Colorado. Colorado is a huge favorite. The way that it works, I still have to pick first as the defending champ, and then it'll be, with the way things are right now, Jerry, then Georgie, and then the coin. I don't think this is close, guys. I think Colorado, this is just a warm-up for them. Colorado wins big.
I'll make it easy. I'll go with you. I don't think that Northern Colorado can stay with them. Not in the same class. Colorado's going to be at home. They're going to be rolling. I'm going to go with Colorado easily.
Well, there you go.
And Carl Durrell gets his first victory, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen is Colorado's going to roll at home and I think play well for Carl Durrell and get some confidence early, even though it's against Northern Colorado. They need all the confidence they can get.
Would you like to flip the first one today?
Yeah, I flipped the first one today.
I
Up
did,
under the lights.
I did the other ones. Don't lose it in the light. Oh, God, you lost in the
Nice
lights.
catch.
Good flip. Good flip to me. That's Tails. Tails is the road team,
That's
so we're
teamwork.
going to see if Northern Colorado can get a victory. Elsewhere, as we continue, that's tonight's game that you can watch on the Pac-12 Network at 6 o'clock tonight. Then on Saturday, guys, we have a 9 a.m. Pacific time kickoff. The Ducks will be in that time slot next week against Ohio State, Stanford, and Kansas State. Now, I don't know if this matters, guys, but David Shaw came out and said some pretty intense things about his feelings on those 9 a.m. Pacific time kickoffs. Well, and then Stanford's first game, they've got one against Kansas State. It's going to be at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Kansas State is a field goal favorite. With everything going on off the field with that early kickoff, I'm actually going to take K-State here. I wish that I could take Stanford. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about K-State. Stanford's always going to be kind of old reliable, it seems like, under David Shaw. I'm going to take K-State, though. I think that 9 a.m. window does matter. And I hope it doesn't next week, but I think it does matter this week against Stanford. I'm taking K-State.
I think what matters more is that Stanford has kind of lost their quarterback. Davis Mills transferred. He's out, so they're going with a new guy. Doesn't have very much time. Skylar Thompson is back at quarterback for K-State. You return a guy like that gives you confidence. And they've got 10 guys back on offense, K-State does. So I just think at home, too, with an early start, they've got the upper hand.
Boy, I was hoping somebody would take Stanford.
So you're taking K-State?
Yeah, I am taking K-State. Yeah,
because we did?
No, not necessarily.
We're not back in the pack today, guys.
Yeah, Stanford is an unknown, and I need to see something before I'm going to be able to pick them. I know they return a lot of really highly regarded offensive linemen, and so that gives them an opportunity and an excellent running back. But K-State, 2 8-4 seasons in a row. They pulled the coach over from North Dakota State that traditionally won the national championship year after year, and he's not done too bad in his first 2 years. This one's down at Dallas, a little bit more Midwest-based. I know there's Stanford graduates all over the country, but I think K-State wins this one.
Shoot, I was hoping somebody would back the pack. So you want another flip? Do we want teamwork?
Jordy,
this
be
one?
ready for this.
Yeah, just anybody. Hey, Scott, be ready for this.
Ready to catch
it's coming to you.
Okay, it's coming to you.
It's coming to you.
I might not be able to catch that. Oh, I did.
That was pretty good. All right, smack it down there. What do we got?
That's heads.
That's heads.
All right.
That's technically the home team, and in this game, it would be K-State. Even though it's a neutral site, they are the second listed.
Next
team
one's
as the
coming to
home
you,
team.
Scott.
Next one's going to Scotty P. All right, on the docket, we continue with our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Oregon and Fresno State would be the next game on your schedule for those of you who are tuning in at home. But, of course, we're calling it. We're not going to pick the Fresno State-Oregon game. 2 o'clock on Pac-12 Network. San Jose State, I think a sneaky good San Jose State team, takes on number 15 USC. It's supposed to be 86 degrees, bright sunshine down in Los Angeles. USC, according to the odds makers, is a 2-touchdown favorite. I'm picking USC. It's going to be a game in the fourth quarter. San Jose State's going to hang tough. They have hung tough against their other California school brethren in the past.
They're a good team.
They are a good team. I think they're a sneaky good team, particularly in their conference. They've done well, and that's part of why Fresno State was picked so low in the conference this year in the Mountain West. I think was because of performances like they had against San Jose State. USC, I think, is going to win. I think it's going to be close. I think that the odds makers with a 2-touchdown favorite for USC. I think it's close in the fourth quarter, but USC gets the win.
Oh, man, this is one of those I would love to I'd love to say I'm going to go the other way.
But you're not going to.
But I'm not going the other way. No,
I
think when you stack up player, talent on talent, it's SC, and they're at home. So they're a 14-point favorite for a reason. I think the odds makers know it's a talent thing, and I think USC wins the game.
Jorgie?
Yeah, in a game like this, USC seems to figure out a way to make it close and make everybody nervous. And Helton all of a sudden is on the hot seat again type of situation. And, is there a chance that San Jose pulls it off and then they do a switch of coaches overnight with the two teams? I mean, that could happen too. So, but, I just can't pick against USC at home in this one just because of the overall talent. But I'll tell you, I think San Jose is going to give them fits all game long. It's a legitimate team, the defending Mountain West champs, well coached, all the different things that go with it. I would be a little nervous if I was a USC fan this
Their
week.
Quarterback Nick Starkel, I think is pretty good. Threw for almost 400 yards last week in their 45-point
A&M transfer.
Yeah. So I think he's pretty darn good. So it's gonna be close, but I think USC. So everybody's gonna take USC. All right, I'm gonna flip this one to you this time.
Okay.
What do we think about that?
Oh, nice catch.
Nice catch.
It is tails.
Tails. That's the road team. San Jose State. Boy.
Well,
I am excited to watch that game.
I am
to
too.
be honest. I think that's going to be a fun one. All right, we're going to get a quick timeout, talk a little bit more about Oregon, Fresno State. It's Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. We've still got games to pick, guys, including Oregon State, Purdue. We know that Jorgie will be picking the Boilermakers, but we don't know what Jerry and I are going to do. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at takesimplesteps.com or contact a local country representative.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s, like go back to college, learn to skateboard. Whoa. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. At aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a free 3-minute chat with the friendly digital retirement coach, Avo, and receive personalized tips to help boost your savings. Start chatting with Avo today at aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio. It is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen here. Every Friday we'll be making some picks brought to you by our friends at Sylvan Ridge Winery. Might be celebrating with a bottle of Sylvan Ridge Winery after a successful broadcast tomorrow, fellas. I think everybody deserves that, right?
That could be a tradition that we begin.
I like that. Though, you know what our reputation is with traditions.
No, I don't.
We just don't exercise them because you still owe me dinner from the last 3 times that I've won in picks.
That's not a tradition.
It's a tradition.
It's
a tradition to not give it to me. That's right. Thank you.
There
Scott.
is an expiration. We got to come up with an expiration
Yes,
date.
we do.
Maybe
Okay.
that's the new rule that you have to add in for picks this year.
There's an expiration date to winning it.
And it's already passed.
And it can be delivered. It doesn't have to be in person.
But see, I don't like that. The whole point was that all of us were supposed to go to dinner together.
But you may have a majority against you. That's the thing about it. When we vote on it, we got 3 people.
Well, then I don't want to do
and
these
Scott
picks
doesn't
anymore.
count. Scott never counts.
You guys can keep track of the picks now.
Oh, no. All right, so when you get a sack of Carl's Jr.'s French fries from me, that's your dinner.
We just need to have an expiration date to it, so that makes us get together to go have dinner, or cook dinner.
They're gonna make me do it,
or invite, or host dinner,
or host dinner. That's right.
Best if used by.
What about sell by? There's different.
Sell by, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Best if used by is different than sell by. Huh?
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. 9 a.m. pregame show tomorrow. Oregon and Fresno State. 11 o'clock kickoff. All right, let's make some more picks. Where we stand right now, real boring. Everybody has taken Colorado, K-State, and USC. Next on the schedule, 4 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. We're going to be able to watch this entire game. Oregon State visits Purdue. The over-under is 68.5 points. Odds makers think that there's not going to be a whole lot of defense. I will say the Beavers, look, they're the rival, but there is a family connection. Sam Neuer, brother of Oregon football director of operations, Matt Neuer, is going to be quarterbacking the Beavers, and I'm rooting for him. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to root for the Beavers. Does that make sense? Am I allowed to do that,
Yes,
guys?
it does, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So Purdue is a touchdown favorite. I think this is going to be a good game. I think that we're going to learn a lot about Oregon State and what Jonathan Smith's been able to build. Thought their defense was better last year. I think their offense is going to take another step forward. Purdue's made some coaching staff changes, but I still think that Purdue at home is a better team. I think it's a good game. I think it's a really good game. I'm going to take Purdue by an edge. I think Purdue's going to sneak one out. I think the Beavs, though, it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table.
In terms of what both teams bring back from experience-wise, they're both almost identical. Purdue's 9 offense, 9 defense. Beavers got 9 or 10 offensive guys back, 9 defense. This may be Oregon State's best defense in a little while. I like Tristan Gebbia at quarterback. I like what they're doing. I like Jonathan Smith. and I know they're on the road, but I'm going to pick the Beavers to win this game.
Are you really?
In an upset, yes.
What do you think, Jorg?
You know how difficult this is for me. Okay. But I am going to pick the Beavers.
Wow.
Okay. I think Neuer is going to do a nice job. It almost feels like all they've done is lose a tailback and the rest of the offense is back. And I think Sam Neuer, with the great year he had last year at Colorado, when Colorado was expected to do nothing, I think is going to continue on at Oregon State. They'll be very skilled on offense. I think they'll score points on offense. Neither defense is going to play very well, but I think Oregon State gets it. And if they lose, I'll never pick them again.
So you realize that you just cursed Oregon State into a loss because this happens every year.
Well, I'm just, You
were hoping he'd pick Purdue,
and you know what?
Just to not have that curse, right?
That's right.
And you know what? If that happens, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. But I'm taking the Beavs.
Wow. Okay. All right. Coin's up in the air. That's heads. That's the home team in Purdue.
Wow.
So, I'm aligning with the coin. That's too bad. That's really dangerous.
We could do double or nothing this year on the dinners, which could erase a lot of them.
No, we just hey. First road trip, I'll take care of my portion of my owing. Okay, I'll stick that out, put it out there right now. I will take care of.
Okay.
Why would you do that when it's a work trip? It's on company dime.
Okay, well then I won't.
That's just bad. No, you don't waste your money doing that.
Okay.
That's when the radio network buys dinner.
I'll get it on the calendar. We're gonna get it on the calendar. First one's on.
I've got an opening for. Okay, let's do January 27th.
But what's our expiration date?
2022.
We got to figure out what the expiration date is.
Can we do that?
When's the expiration date?
Not
best if used by, but expiration. If we say it's like September 15th.
Where's my guy Tobias saying, here's the ibuprofen in the comments today? I mean, man. Pac-12 Network, 5 o'clock game at Husky Stadium, guys. Montana visiting number 20 Washington.
Oh, real barn burner.
I want nothing more than for the Grizz to win this game. Honestly, that would be great. But Washington's going to
Not going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, it's
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah,
Everyone, not even. All right, flip the coin then. I got to write that down.
Scotty, you ready to receive?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, it's coming.
Don't break anything.
I'll try not to.
Jeez, look at this.
Oh, that was pretty good.
How about that?
Oh, that Scott drops it. Illegal flip. Tails. All right, tails it is.
I got it there.
That's one. Yeah, that was. Oh.
Yep.
In the lights.
Oh. I had no idea
The
where
coin
it was.
comes back to reality, right?
It really did.
Yeah.
It really did. All right, guys. The next one is LSU UCLA.
Oh, tough one.
5:30 Pacific time on Fox. It's the big one from Pasadena. Number 16 LSU visiting the already 1-0 Chip Kelly-led UCLA team. I thought that UCLA played pretty well in their opening game. I thought they didn't play great. I thought they played pretty well. I thought they showed some good things, and I thought they showed that LSU, they could beat them. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I think you're going to see a lot of points on the board. You look at just the recruiting class rankings, LSU wins this game. I think maybe I'm a little spoiled by watching Chip Kelly coach here at Oregon and seeing what he can do, and now that he's had some more time to build UCLA, we'll see what happens. I officially defer my pick. I use my deferral.
Okay.
Wow.
I have no problem with that.
I use my
This is
deferral.
an early
on
season
LSU.
deferral.
Yeah, it is an early.
UCLA.
I'll tell you what. Both teams have most everybody back from last year. I just like LSU's muscle and defense up front. UCLA wants to run the ball, and I don't think LSU is going to let them run the ball the way Hawaii did. Hawaii was just not a good matchup. So LSU. And they'll have more fans there than UCLA will have.
That's right.
There's no doubt about it. So I'm going with LSU, even though UCLA looked really great against Hawaii. Hawaii's not that good this year. LSU is LSU.
I'm going with what Jerry just said. I'm going with LSU for a variety of reasons. I think they're going to be a much better football team this year. I think Max Johnson and the games that he got under his belt at the end of last season bodes well for this season, even though I don't think he was supposed to be the projected starter. The projected starter ends up getting injured. I think broke his arm. So really, you're going to a guy who's played some really good football in big games at the end of the season last year with a victory over Florida, one of those 2 games. But it's going to feel like a home field game to him. And if DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, does not play better than he did against Hawaii, which I expected him to play a lot better in that game than he did. If he doesn't play any better with better athletes that are going to be able to chase him down and run him down type of situation, UCLA is going to get run out of there. So DTR plays well. I wouldn't be surprised if UCLA wins, but I'm taking LSU. And I don't know if Charbonnet is going to go for 100-plus yards on 7 carries in this game. So
Sure.
No.
Coin flips in the air. That's tails. The coin's going with LSU. Does that change your guys' mind at all?
Nope, not at all.
No, I think you've got an opportunity
It's up
here.
to you. It's up to you.
Well, I've already got my Purdue pick over Oregon State, so I could either be in real good shape or real bad shape, or we're just going to split these games and then we end up right back where we started. You know, I'm going to take UCLA.
It's not a bad pick.
I don't.
No, it's a 50-50.
You know, I'll be honest, though. When you made the comment about how it's going to feel like an LSU home game, that made me – I was planning to pick UCLA that whole time, but it made me question myself when you said, you know what, it might be just an LSU crowd. It might be just an LSU home game kind of a feel. And when you said that, I kind of went, man, that changed the calculus in my mind a little bit. I'm going to take UCLA, though. I don't really have a reason why, except I'm going to back the Pack.
Okay. All right.
3 more games
I
to
respect
pick.
that.
We got a couple good ones. I've already used my deferral, and boy, I feel like I'm taking some risks here early on. We might be playing catch-up. Jorgie, Jerry, Joey Mack, more Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Coming up in the Country Financial Studio after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks. I've been waiting to get a new Toyota all year.
Well, right now we've got exciting offers on our lineup of 2021s, like Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tacoma.
Highlander. Jen, do you mind watching Chance?
Oh, okay. Listen, Chance, I run a tight ship, so I don't want any funny business. Who's a good boy? Toyota's National Sales Event is on.
Current offers end September 7th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest, cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen in the Country Financial Studio. Thanks again, guys, for coming in. Jorgie actually, he's dressed for game day, except he's wearing jeans instead of shorts.
Yeah, he's got pants on.
If you had shorts on, I'd say, man, you're just ready for game day already? But
I had to go to work today, by the way.
Well, you're still at work.
I can't wear shorts to work and then come from work.
Sure.
That's
sure. Jorgie's much more. I wore a T-shirt.
I know. I like
today,
that.
So
I was going to make a comment about that and hadn't said anything.
Yeah, my comment.
I like that.
That's the logo. Josh Heim. Shout out to Josh Heim, the football graphic designer. He made the Coming Home 2021 logo. You can get these at the Duck Store, by the way.
where
You
I'm
know,
going.
in hindsight, we should have put Richard in one. He's wearing just like the regular Mighty Oregon shirt. We should have put Richard in the Coming Home shirt. Yeah, we should have done that. Get it at the Duck Store. All right, guys, continuing with our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. We've got, after that LSU-UCLA game, there's going to be 3 Pac-12 games going on at the same time. 7:30 on Fox Sports 1. I think this is a sneaky good game. Nevada visits Cal. Cal, we know that they're going to be in every game with Justin Wilcox. We saw that. What does their defense look like? Oregon knew how good of a coordinator Tim DeRuyter was. That's why they brought him up here. I'm really curious to see how Cal performs. And to be honest, maybe this says more about Nevada than it does Cal. I was surprised to see that this was, according to the odds makers, only about a field goal favorite game for Cal. Chase Garbers is 14-4 as a starting quarterback when he actually finishes the game for the Golden Bears. Remember I referenced that stat last year, and then he got dinged up again. I think Cal wins this game. I think it's a close game, though. I think it's a sneaky good game between Cal and Nevada. I'm going to pick Cal.
If it were later in the year, I would give probably Nevada a bigger advantage. I just think it will take them longer to get their stuff going. Cal, Pac-12 school, more guys returning. They did have to replace the defensive coordinator, so for Nevada to try to figure out what Cal's going to be doing on defense will be a little bit different. So I like Cal. I think 3.5 is a good number. It could come down to a field goal. Cal.
Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, good comments, Jerry. I think that it's one of those ones where I think anytime you return a quarterback that's like Chase Garbers, who's won a lot of football games, hasn't always been the prettiest in the world, but figures out a way to win a game when he finishes with a pretty good defense. And a Nevada team, I think they get better as the season goes on. Yeah. But game one, I just have a hard time like you thinking that they're where they need to be able to beat Cal on the road. So I'm taking the Bears.
Coin.
Do the honors, sir.
And I think a Bill Musgrave offense that now has
fumble.
Bill Musgrave offense that has a chance to be installed kind of helps too.
Should we do it again?
Oh, illegal flip, doing it again.
It's still heads.
It's still heads.
Yeah,
still heads.
Remember last year how on again, off again Cal was? I mean, how they get right up almost a day before a game and then it would get canceled. They would be on the road. I think they were at UCLA and it got canceled while they were at UCLA. Yeah. They played, 4 games?
And then they looked at and then they potentially looked at moving that game, and it was a wild season for them. There's no doubt about it. Wild season for everybody. Let's just hope we don't have to do that again. I think this is going to be a interesting game for the Pac-12, the next one. It's on ESPN, 7:30. BYU visiting Arizona. It's at Allegiant Stadium, though, in Las Vegas. It's not a true home game for Arizona. I don't know if that matters. BYU is a near 2-touchdown favorite in this Vegas Kickoff Classic. BYU, I think, after last year's season, they've got some good players. I don't think their schedule was all that great last year, but they still went 11-1, guys. Pretty good team. Arizona trying to break in a new coaching staff, breaking in a lot of new players. If Arizona gets the win here, would do wonders for the Pac-12, right? Would be an awesome win for the Pac-12. I just don't know enough about this Arizona team, and I think this is a game where we find out a lot about this Arizona team. Don't know enough about them to pick them. Going with BYU in a neutral site game. I like BYU.
Yeah, Arizona's got some things, a lot of things to replace. I think Grant Gunnell left. He's gone. So they got to work out that quarterback situation. A lot of new pieces that have got to come together. If they're at home, might help them a little bit. But one of the big keys in this game, anytime you play BYU, I feel they are a more disciplined football team. And against a team like Arizona, who has had discipline problems at times in games, I like BYU. I just think that they will get the upper hand. I think BYU wins the game.
I do too. I'm taking BYU.
I think Jorgie's got to flip the coin this time.
I do. Okay. Yeah, I just I
got to find it first now.
That's right.
With Arizona, what's going to be weird is they're not going to be throwing the ball like they normally do.
Right.
They're going to be coming up under the center and trying to establish the line of scrimmage. And until they've got enough games under their belt, I just don't think they even know who they are. And I think BYU knows who they are.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Connie Sataki just got a contract extension. Heads is the home team. That's Arizona. All right, guys, last game. It's the 8 o'clock kickoff between Utah State and Washington State. All right. It's no secret that Washington State has had some headlines about their program that aren't necessarily about what's going on a football field. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
This is going to be, I think, a high-scoring game. Utah State tends to score a lot of points. They have traditionally. I keep thinking back to the Chucky Keaton days. You guys remember when Chucky Keaton was their quarterback? He was so fun to watch.
They were good.
I feel like Utah State is just always solid at that level. Washington State's a bigger favorite than I thought they would be in this game. Like, let me ask you guys this. I thought going into this week that Cal Nevada would be closer to a 17-point favorite for Cal than Utah State would be Washington State. Like, I thought that would be a closer line by the odds makers, Cal Nevada rather than Washington State, Utah State. Washington State's a 17-point favorite here. They really believe in Washington State. I think the reason is Max Borghi. Max Borghi coming back. He wants to prove something here in an extra year of eligibility. I think he runs wild. Maybe there's some points on the board. Who knows what Washington State's looking like off the field with everything going on. I do think Washington State wins the game.
Do we know who the starting quarterback is for Washington State yet?
I actually have not seen. I can do a little digging for you, though.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's Delora or Garantano, the transfer from Tennessee. So it's kind of interesting how that's going to work. But I think Borghi is a difference maker, no doubt about it. So, Jerry, go ahead.
Caught me by surprise. Wasn't ready for that.
You thought I was going to make my pick, didn't you?
Washington State is tough to play at their place, except for opening games against teams they're supposed to beat.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it? I mean, they have a history of blowing games, but I don't think they do this year. I think they're going to be a focus because of what's going on. I think it allows them to, come on, guys, let's rally around each other and make it all about football. So I think they're probably a better football team in general than Utah State, and they're at home, so I'm going to go with Washington State.
The latest from the Seattle Times is that Coach Rolovich said that he may not announce something during the week. Sounds like he's confident both of them could lead the offense.
Rolovich. To go from Leach to Rolovich is just amazing. Talk about two loose, cannons, and it's so funny. But still, I think that's the way they play. They're going to come out and just wing it all over the place. If they can spread Utah State out, Borghi becomes a huge factor, not only running the ball, but as a receiver. He's just such a great dual threat at that type of position. Then it's just a matter of, can Washington State play enough defense? And I think with guys like Justice Rogers and some others that are back, I think they'll play enough defense to win that game. So I'm taking the Cougs.
Yeah. Doesn't matter maybe who plays quarterback. All right, should I flip the last one? Anybody want to catch it?
No, you got it. Go.
That was a terrible flip. Can I get a reflip?
If you want.
It's kind of flat. You got to get there it is.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one. All right, we got tails. That would be the road team in Utah State.
Wow.
So to recap, the coin is just all over the place. Jerry and Jorgie have made identical picks of Colorado, K-State, USC, Oregon State, Washington, LSU, Cal, BYU, Washington State. I'm going Purdue over Oregon State, and I'm going UCLA over LSU. And, guys, we're going to have some separation after week one of picks.
Ooh, I'm looking
forward to this. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, some final thoughts, Jorgie, because I know you actually have a job to get back to.
I'll go back and lock the door because we're closing at 2, which is a good thing. So,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
No, just really excited. Really excited for the fanfare and everything that goes with Autzen Stadium. To me, first and foremost, I mean, I want to see – obviously, Oregon's team and the student-athletes and players do a great job tomorrow and take care of business against Fresno State. But it's the fans, and I hear Jerry say it all the time. It's just that piece gets me so excited, more excited probably than anything. And so can't wait to get here 7 a.m. tomorrow morning before we go on the air at 11 o'clock, or go on the air at 9 o'clock, actually. And just can't wait for all that build-up to go with it and start to see people come in and to hear a band and the scoreboard actually with people who can see it and having just –
except for me.
Yeah, except for you. You were blocked. You could be blocked again this year, aren't you? Yeah. At least I have one to look at before, because you always had one.
I know. I always had one now. I won't see the new board.
It's all about Jerry being able to see the new board.
That's right.
That's what we're concerned about. Jerry, final thoughts? Oregon, Fresno State, what are you thinking about?
I'm just thinking about a clean game, not very many mistakes. I think the team that can eliminate the mistakes will have the bigger upper hand. I think Oregon is ready to play some really good football. We've seen it in fall camp. If they can carry that into the game, it's theirs to win.
11 a.m. kickoff, 9 a.m. pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network. All right, I'm going to let you guys go because we got a few leftover interviews actually from the week. And also, Oregon volleyball just won a sweep of SMU. That's after a 4-set win last night for Matt Ulmer's team. They played a couple of matches out there in Texas, and they're coming back with 2 victories. Congratulations.
Right. Georgia Clemson. What do you think?
Georgia.
God, I am excited to watch that game. There's a lot of good games to watch this weekend. I'm going to take Clemson. I think Georgia wins the SEC.
Okay. I'm going Georgia.
Clemson wins the game.
I think Georgia. I'm going to go Georgia.
Okay.
Some good games. Good games.
Yeah, really good games.
Yeah.
Bama, Miami?
Oh, Bama.
That just tells you all you need to know, huh?
Yeah.
I wanted to say Miami. I can't talk.
All right.
There we go.
Mike Jorgensen, he'll be on the air at 9 a.m. with Terry Johns. And this is JB, Jerry Allen. We'll be back with you tomorrow.
No.
You're going to keep it going, right, Jorg?
Oh, yeah. I'll only call him JB when I get ticked at him. No.
Oh, sure.
I mean, hey, Jerry, that's a good point. JB, what are you doing?
Weekly picks. Weekly picks brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery. I think everybody is going to need a glass of wine after we do these picks every single Friday. That makes sense. When we come back, we're going to hear a little bit from Johnny Johnson as we continue to get you ready for the start of the season tomorrow on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, football is back! So consider this your official excuse for always putting football watching first, courtesy of Pepsi. That haircut appointment? Seeing the in-laws for the first time in ages?
It's been so long!
Nope, sorry Susan, not if it's on Sunday. Long story short, after the year we've all had, we think you could use a little football watching. So crack open a Pepsi and cheer your football watching face off. With love, Pepsi. Made for football watching. That's what I like.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too. Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and experiences connect through conversation, and it feels good.
This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too. Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together. Start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
Friday edition of Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you inside the Country Financial Studio. My thanks to JB and to Mike Jorgensen. Scott Phillips always running the show, and the coin is officially down. The coin is already 1-2. We're sitting at 3-0, and I'm going to just revel in that until something bad happens. Earlier this week, we did get the chance to catch up with Johnny Johnson. Haven't gotten to this interview on the show yet this week. Want to let you hear from one of the veteran receivers who has really taken over a leadership role with this team. And he talked about a number of different topics earlier this week, heading into the opener against Fresno State at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
The stands. It's an easy one for you. How does that feel?
Exciting. Yeah, it feels like it's brand new again. Almost like my first year in college. It feels like that.
What did you miss most last year without them? It was weird even being in the press box, but on the field, what did you miss most?
Just the roar, like the fun it brings to the game. That's probably the biggest thing for me.
What is it like when maybe you're behind the defense and you're expecting to hear the crowd react? What's it like when it's just silent?
It's kind of weird. It's kind of awkward. You want to celebrate, but you're celebrating, but there's only so much it's a different energy when there's fans. So I'm excited for them to be back.
Troy Franklin, I think, at the X there as his freshman. I mean, you're excited about him. What can you say about that? I think that probably took people by surprise considering how many veterans you guys returned.
He's a dog. He's been putting in work since he got here in spring, and he showed the coaches that he has the ability to take the information of the offense and apply it on the field and make big plays and contested catches and, do all the right things that he should. So I'm excited for that dude. He's going to have a big year for us, and, it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year for him. Sorry.
What does it say, though, just about him as a true freshman? Is it? I mean, you've had a lot of true freshmen. You've seen guys come through here. Is he more advanced than most guys you've seen come in?
I'll say yeah. As far as like releases, knowing like technically how to get open, using your hands, making contested catches, not letting the bright lights, make you underperform or anything like that. When the pressure's on, he's making plays for us. So he's gonna have a big year.
Is that something mental you think with him in terms of just being prepared for the bright lights? Does that come from being a high-profile recruit, or what can you kind of explain some of that? Do you think?
I think that's part of it. I think he has that confidence in him. When he steps on the field, he knows he's that guy and he can get open. So part of it's the confidence for sure.
Just this group in general, so many guys. Rotation coach was saying 7-9 guys out there, and it seems like all the guys can make plays. Yeah. Is this just exciting for you to see so many of these players be capable and ready to go?
Definitely. I think we have a lot of weapons. I think when you look at us from the outside in, you kind of don't know who's going to, be getting the ball or who's going to be, going to be favored on this play or whatever. Like, we don't give a lot of tendencies. We have so many playmakers, so, it's going to be hard to stop us.
What stands out about the Fresno State defense, maybe particularly the secondary, when you're breaking them down?
I think they've grown a lot from last year. It looks like they play sound together. They play together as a team, so I'm excited for the opportunity.
With Fresno State, and you just talked a little bit about it, when you see them shut another team out and hold them to, I think, 105 yards or whatever that is, obviously you've got their full attention, but does that perk your ears up a little bit when you watch the film and just see how effective they were?
Definitely. I think they're a confident team, especially coming off last week. I'm just excited for the opportunity, though. I think they're going to come in here with full confidence, ready to go, so I'm excited.
We've heard a lot about explosive plays being associated with Coach Moorhead, and a lot about how he's looking to open things up a little bit going into this year. Are you seeing that in practice? How are you seeing that explosion in the offense?
Definitely. I think he's putting us in the right position to make big plays, and he's calling the plays. He believes in us. We believe in his play calling, so it's all coming together for us.
One of the surprising things for us on the depth chart yesterday when it was released was seeing Troy Blanket at the starting spot at X. Was that a surprise to any of the players we've seen him this fall?
I'll say not on this team. Maybe to the outside looking in, but as far as the dudes on the team, the dudes around the program, I think we've seen him make those plays the entire time he's been here, so it wasn't a surprise for us.
Similar kind of question with Anthony being named the starter. Was that probably didn't surprise anybody? Was that like the worst kept secret?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we all knew he was going to be the guy, and he obviously proved it throughout camp. It wasn't handed to him, so he had to go out there and perform every day, so he earned it for sure.
You've played with a couple different quarterbacks here now. What does he maybe do differently or similar to Justin and Tyler?
I wouldn't want to compare them or anything. I think he does a lot of great things, though. He's a great pocket presence. He can put the ball on a line. He can throw it deep. He makes good decisions. Knows how to find people. Knows how to find the check downs when he's getting pressured, things like that. So he's a smart player overall. He has experience, and he's ready to go.
And just in general, how impressed were you with these two freshman quarterbacks? Obviously not starting, but you think the future's pretty bright?
I think the future's very bright. I think when they originally got here, there were some questions. I think they had to learn and adjust from high school to college, but I think they've picked it up, and especially during these last couple weeks of fall camp, they really picked it up and figured out the offense, and they've done a great job.
For Franklin, what's your advice to him, as a young receiver, and what were some things you wish you had known, some of your first games in college?
Take it all in. Enjoy it. It goes by fast. I'll say that. He's going to make big plays. He's going to do what he has to do, but I'll say just soak in every game, every opportunity you get.
What are you telling your teammates who've never been in an Autzen with fans about what it's like?
Oh, it looks like it's not the biggest stadium, but it's one of the loudest stadiums I've been in for sure. That's probably what I'll tell them.
A big part of quarterbacks and with them is like winning over an offense, winning over their teammates. How do you see that from Anthony, or what do you expect to see there?
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure. No, that was jumbled. I apologize.
You're good. No, you're good. You're good.
When you're looking at it from a wide receiver's perspective, how does a quarterback win over an offense? Take the reins.
I think it's just taking command and kind of being that leader, that tip of the spear for us, bringing guys together when things aren't going right, keeping us level-headed and keeping us up. And whether the wide receiver makes a bad play or he makes a bad throw, it's kind of a collective, like, we understand and we just need to get better on the next play. That's kind of what he's shown the entire camp, so, yeah.
With such a young team, you're one of the few players that kind of knows what it's like to play an outside when it's full go. Is there anything you're kind of telling your younger teammates to prepare them for this?
It's gonna be loud. Yeah, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be fun though. So they're rooting for us at the end of the day. So it's gonna be exciting.
You didn't have to come back and play this season. I know you talked about why, but do you have personal goals or team goals?
Sorry, I didn't hear the beginning.
Oh, I was just saying you didn't have to come back this season. You chose to. Like, what are some things that went into that decision in terms of just this season specifically for you, for the team that you wanted to get done, and went into the decision to come back?
I definitely wanted to end it on a bang. For me, I wanted to get better individually, obviously, but I think there was a lot to build on and a lot of opportunity in this year. So that I kind of went into my decision, and I'm excited for what we're about to do this year.
Yeah, the offensive identity last season, you could argue, really never even got established. Between CJ getting hurt, your role on any given week, guys who are in and out, etc.
Yeah.
What do you think the offensive identity will be for this team?
I would say we do a lot of things where we don't have an identity. Just my personal opinion. I think we have a lot of, we move around, we do a lot of different things. A lot of different people get the ball, so you can't really key anything for us. And I think Moorhead does a great job of doing that, so it's hard for people to stop us. So I wouldn't say we have any identity right now.
To be clear, because people will read that, it's going to read differently than you mean it.
Okay, yeah.
People hear you don't have an identity, they think automatically negative connotation. So I'm giving credence and context to you mean it in that you can adapt.
Yeah, we can adapt. We can do a lot of different things. We can move the ball downfield. We can run it down your throat. We can just do a lot of different things.
How is opening up the full playbook help with that, you think? You see like that adaptability coming to fruition there? Or?
Definitely. I think Moorhead has a lot of tweaks he's put into this offense, and a lot of additions, a lot of things we didn't get to last year. So yeah.
What about playing you saw that you got your guy Herb, you could play on Madden with the U of O legend. What do you think about that?
Him being on Madden?
Yeah, well, like, with the U of O kind of legends team that they have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, him and Panay and all them.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's exciting. I play Madden a lot, so that's really exciting, especially for them to be pro Ducks. So yeah.
How much do you know of Anthony's journey? Actual trip beyond the fact that he came from BC or tore his ACLs and stuff. Just how much do you know of his backstory?
Kind of just that he was raised the right way. I know his dad and his uncle, they kind of pushed him at a young age, trained him real hard. So he's had that dog mentality installed in him from a young age. So I know enough to where I know he's a dog, and he's gonna get it done for us.
A lot of great stuff, covering a lot of different topics with Johnny Johnson III. Johnny Yams, of course, he'll be one of the starting receivers lining up for the Ducks tomorrow when Oregon plays Fresno State at 11 a.m. here at Autzen Stadium. We're sitting here in the Casanova Center, and I tell you, it's like this every Friday before game. There's more people around. There's people shopping in the Duck store, and you can tell that football is in the air. We're going to go through some more details of what game day is going to look like and wrap up the Oregon Athletics week next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesman to the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart savings strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Final segment of Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union here this week. I'm Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Heard from Johnny Johnson. My thanks to Jerry and Jorgie for coming by and saying hi. Jerry's 35th season as the voice of the Ducks, his 33rd with Mike Jorgensen. There's just nothing like listening to the sweet sounds of Jerry and Jorgie on the radio. And, you know, look, as the sideline reporter, I basically just get to sit there and listen to them call the game. And I watch stuff and observe things for them and see what's going on. But I love being the sideline reporter because I basically just get to be a fan who's listening along with the rest of you. Maybe you're listening on the GoDucks Game Day app, and maybe you're listening one of our terrestrial radio affiliates. Those of you who are out-of-towners, you can always listen via the GoDucks Game Day app, or GoDucks.com/live audio has all the info. If you're ever wondering where to tune in, go to GoDucks.com/OSN. 9 a.m. pregame show, 11 o'clock kickoff for Oregon and Fresno State. Fresno State, final thought, I think they're a pretty talented team. I think that they also are going to come in with a little something to prove. And if you're the Ducks, you'd like to establish control early on. I think that this is an Oregon team that with the kind of defense the Ducks are capable of playing, they're going to want to play with the lead because the defense is one that probably isn't going to relinquish the lead. One thing I am curious about, if with that in mind, do the Ducks take the ball if they win that flip? If they win the flip of a coin, I think the Ducks are going to take the ball. I think they want to get out and score in front of fans at Autzen Stadium. GoDucks.com has all the info on what the game day policy is going to be. Again, everything with the exception of mobile ticketing is going to be reviewed on a week-to-week basis, so we'll have a lot of information. We'll tell you about it on the show. But I understand that there's an awful lot of info, and with that in mind, helpful probably just to read through it. For example, with the shuttle service, there's going to be way less park and ride locations. Concessions, you can now order them via the GoDucks app. Download the app before you come to the stadium so you don't have to worry about cell service and Wi-Fi. There's going to be long lines. Please just have patience with each other, the staff, and we'll see all of you when the parking lot's open at 7 a.m. The pregame show begins at 9 a.m., gates open at 9 a.m., and an 11 a.m. kickoff on Pac-12 Network and right here on the Oregon Sports Network. It's finally here. We're back at Autzen Stadium tomorrow, everybody.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you